A question that everyone is asking me lately is, should I buy a Fujifilm camera? And I thought, instead of answering everyone individually and giving them my detailed opinion on the Fujifilm ecosystem and whether you should buy and own a Fujifilm camera, I thought we'd make a video about it. So this video is going to be all about whether you should invest in a Fujifilm camera. If you're a beginner, maybe if you've been into photography for a couple of years and you're looking to translate over, this video will also be for you. Now, before I start discussing brands, I want a quick reality check here. It's my opinion that whilst gear is fantastic and I love new and exciting gear like everyone else, that skill matters way more. Whether that's learning how your camera works, whether that's composition, or just going out and shooting with your camera. All these things trump the actual gear you use. However, I think having the correct camera for you will make this experience a lot easier. So whether you're transitioning from Sony, Canon, Nikon, or whether you're a brand new photographer, maybe you've been shooting on your iPhone or your Samsung and you want to get an actual real camera. So why Fujifilm? Why are people gravitating towards these cameras, especially beginners, people that don't know anything about photography and that could quite easily gravitate towards Sony, Canon, Nikon, any other camera brand? Why Fujifilm? Well, I think the popularity on social media, on TikTok, with the likes of the X100V and now VI, maybe have a bigger part to play. But I think people for the past 10 years have been really interested since the X-T1, where they released a retro style camera. Now, of course, Fujifilm don't just sell retro style cameras, they do sell more video focused cameras, which I think are a little bit more utilitarian. You've got the HS2 and things like that for professionals. It's not just, they don't just sell cameras that appeal to this particular audience, but I think if you probably looked at their sales figures, I'd imagine cameras like I've just mentioned are probably their best sellers, and a big part of that is the style and aesthetic of them. I think another reason maybe beginners or people translate over to Fujifilm cameras is the buttons. I think especially when we're looking at X-T5s, X100Vs, the button layout and just how tactile everything is great. I think especially for beginners, when you're learning your shutter, ISO, apertures, this is great because it forces you to learn what those three things mean in that, photography triangle. And I just think they're quite nice to use and play around with, even if you're someone like me that just shoots in aperture priority mode most of the time. I think also what's quite important is the clear progression that you get in the Fujifilm ecosystem. You can start with cheaper cameras like the X-T30. So there's a nice progression there within the Fujifilm lineup. And of course, this is the same for most camera brands, but in Fujifilm, I don't know, there's something about it. Like even for myself, I'm currently using a X-T5, but I feel like in the future, I may look towards a HS2. And it's nice that there is that progression. Another reason people like and love Fujifilms and why people are gravitating towards this company is the quality. Now, a lot of people, I'm sure, that have maybe been in the ecosystem a very long time might say that the quality from X-T1 to the X-T5 has dropped, and I can't really say that is true or not because I'd never owned an X-T1, but from other YouTubers that have talked about this is a concern. However, for me, between my X-T5 and my X100VI or X100VI, I can't really say anything bad about the quality. They feel like very solidly built cameras. I've used them in all sorts of adverse conditions. In sandy deserts, I've used them in downpours, I've used them in snowy conditions, and I haven't had a time where they failed me yet. Now, if I was doing this all the time, maybe they might fail, but then I think I would go for a different camera. So if you're not planning on doing stuff like that all the time, I think Fujifilm is a fantastic camera brand to go for. I think the elephant in the room, and something I haven't discussed, of course, is Fujifilm simulations. Now, Fujifilm are one of the only camera brands that make cameras and made film stock. I actually haven't checked whether they still do, so please let me know in the comments. But I think that whole color science gives them a unique perspective, and whilst other camera brands have tried to replicate this to the best of their ability, and whilst maybe you could go into Lightroom and edit and get very close. There's something about using a recipe in camera and being part of that process. It's the complete digital version of using a film camera without using a film camera. And this is something really unique to Fujifilm. And again, I think TikTok and YouTube have glamorized this maybe, but it's certainly a big draw for beginners that just want their photos to look good out of camera, and maybe people like me that don't fancy editing hundreds of photos. Of course, a big part of any brand is the community. I'm part of plenty of communities on the likes of Reddit, and I would say 99% of the time it's a great community. There are people to help you, there are some very strong opinions, and generally speaking, it's a lovely community to be a part of. People are really nice, that's all I can really say. And of course, a giant part of the Fujifilm community is custom Fujifilm recipes. This is the cherry on the top, and something that I absolutely love about this community. Now, I don't think people are making new recipes anymore, but people are always coming up with slightly different versions and slightly different tweaked ones and how to use them in different settings. And it's just great, especially if you're a beginner. There's so much to test and try. It's just so cool. And it really has helped me define and find my photography style. And again, if you're a beginner and you don't know what your style is, half of it is the look of your images. So this really helped me, and I think it would really help beginners or people looking to move over into the Fujifilm ecosystem. Okay, so you're a beginner, you like Fujifilm, you want to buy a camera, but what camera should you buy? Now, I'm actually not going to recommend an X-T5 or an X100VI because they're expensive cameras, and I think they're the next step in your Fujifilm journey. I'll always advocate for buying secondhand and buying cheaper and older cameras, especially if you're brand new to photography, as I think it's a great way to learn. They tend to have less features. Maybe the autofocus isn't as good, so it makes you work more for that photo, which sounds like a bad thing, but is actually a good thing in my opinion. So my first recommendation for your first Fujifilm camera is the Fujifilm X-M5. I think this is a great camera if you want something lightweight, a bit more modern and easy to carry. Now, it is a screen-based camera. What I mean by this is it hasn't got a viewfinder. Now, if you're coming from a smartphone, this might be a good thing. If you're coming from a different system that has a viewfinder, or you're someone like me that shoots in conditions where, you know, sometimes it'd be better to use a viewfinder, this camera might not be for you. Now, I think what Fujifilm have tried to do here with this camera is merge the line between like vlogging and using it as a camera. And whilst it's probably great for vlogging, we're just going to focus on the photography applications of it, which I think it is great for. The next camera I'm going to talk about is the Fujifilm X-E5. This camera, and the big difference between it and the other camera I've just spoke about, is the fact that it includes a rangefinder. So if maybe you like the XM5, this might be for you if you also want that rangefinder. It's still very compact and still very classic looking, and I think it's a good balance between size and weight. Now, the last camera I'm going to recommend to beginners or people moving over from a different ecosystem is the Fujifilm X-T30 Mark III. I definitely say this is like a baby X-T5. It's more of an all-round camera, and I think when you think of Fujifilm, depends how you think about it, but when I think of Fujifilm, that's the sort of camera and style that I think of. It's an absolutely fantastic camera. I've managed to use it a few times now, and I think especially if you're a beginner, it is a great camera. You've of course got a viewfinder, which is great. You've got an inbuilt flash, which especially if you're more casual and you're taking pictures of friends and families at parties or events, really nice to have. You've got a simulation, you've got a simulation dial, which is again really nice to have when you're first finding out what, you know, do you like classic chrome, do you like a Turner, you know, what recipes you like, which is nice. And it has more physical dials than the other two cameras I've thought about. So again, if you're a beginner and you're learning your ISOs and your shutters, this will help you do that. So Fujifilm isn't all great. There are some downsides or more things to consider. I don't want to just have rose tinted glasses on the whole time I'm recording this video. So with that said, something to consider, and this really goes for any camera brand you invest in, is price. Fujifilm is not an entry-level camera brand. I mean, none of them really are, but it is something to consider, the price you're putting in. That's why I'll always recommend going for refurbished, second-hand, or buying an older, camera that's new. Don't always think you need to buy the latest and greatest, or that it needs to be brand new either, especially if you are a beginner. Now, a nice thing about Fujifilm cameras is they do tend to hold their value very well. So maybe when you're selling the bodies and you're going then for an X-T5, or you're going even further up, you should get a good second-hand offer for your camera, which is nice. And like I said, I think they hold their value better than some other camera brands out there. Another limitation is video. Now, Fujifilm make a video first camera. I can't comment on that. I've never used it. But when I think of video cameras, I never think about Fujifilm. I always think about Sony and Canon mostly. I think a big part of that is the autofocus. Whilst I actually don't think the autofocus on Fujifilm cameras is not that bad at all. I'm recording on a Sony right now for a reason. I think between the autofocus and the S-Log and grading that, they just are better. Now, I do record some short clips on my X-T5 and my X100VI that I stitch together, but I don't do any true video work with it. I don't think that these cameras are true hybrid cameras compared to the likes of Sony and Canon. So that is something to consider if you're looking to do any video work. Either go for their more video focused cameras, or it might be worth looking at other camera brands. Lenses. If you're not going for a fixed lens camera like the X100VI, lenses are a consideration, more so the price of them. Even when you're buying secondhand lenses, they are an investment, they are not cheap. Now, the nice thing about lenses is if you buy a new body, you don't need to buy a new lens, which is really cool. I mean, if you're buying first-party lenses from Fujifilm, the quality is, of course, fantastic, but you're paying a premium. They're an expensive lens. I mean, the lens I've got on my X-T5 nearly cost as much as the X-T5 itself, but the quality is there, and it's a lens that I might own for life, so it's worth it to me. But again, think about it. Now, you have got Tamron, you have got Sigma, you have got TT Artisan. There are other options out there. There are deals you can get on lenses, and again, buying second hand, but lenses are expensive. So when you're looking at buying a camera, if it isn't got a fixed lens or it hasn't got a kit lens bundled in, save some money, because you're going to need to buy at least one lens, but you'll probably go down the rabbit hole of buying multiple like I have. If you made it to the end of the video, well done you. I'm not going to rabbit on too much longer now. Is Fujifilm worth it for beginners? For me, 100%. I think if I was recommending any camera brand to someone now, Fujifilm would definitely be at the top, because I think they look really good. And if they look good, you're maybe more likely to go out with that camera and take photos in more environments than just, I'm gonna go take photos on my own. With the Fujifilm simulations, shooting in JPEG makes life really easy if you just want to be more casual and upload them to your phone. I actually think the Fujifilm app, the X app, I think it's called, people again hate on it. I'm not really too sure why. I really quite like the app. I use it all the time. It's simple, but it works well. It makes transferring your photos over nice and easy. And I think, again, the dials and just the manual feel of these cameras will really help you hone your skills. So simply, yes, if you're looking to get into Fujifilm and you're a complete beginner, I would recommend it. Check out some of the cameras I've mentioned in this video. And it might be worth using, if you're here in the UK, the try before you buy system. A lot of people don't know this, but Fujifilm UK offer a service where you can essentially rent their cameras, and if you do it for 48 hours, it's free. So you could try all these cameras out that I've mentioned, and you don't have to pay anything, and then you can make a purchase. And it's not like you've got to buy them from Fujifilm, you can buy them from wherever you want. So that's something to consider. Do your research, and of course, if anyone's got any questions about any of the cameras I've mentioned, please do let me know.